In the new 2025 X9 combine, there's some new automation. So it has ground speed automation. So a few things that have changed. We now have the two forward-looking cameras that's going to look 3.5 seconds ahead of where our header is to be able to identify down-cropped, crop mass, and stubble. So it's going to adjust our speed before we get into it. So no more diving into the crop. So this is going to be our new automation run page. So on the left-hand side here, we're going to see our metrics that we've set up for what's allowable for grain loss, foreign material, and broken grain. On the right-hand side is going to display our actual. So once we are combining, we are going to see our actual grain loss, our actual foreign material, and our actual broken grain. So to set this up, it is fairly intuitive. So we will go into our menu. We'll go to our applications, and then we will go to harvest automation. So we do have three different automations. We have our ground speed, our harvest settings, and our terrain settings. So to set it up, we will go to preferences, and then we can select all what we'd like to set up. So we can set our ground speed limits, so same as the Harvest Smart. We can exit out of there. We can go set our engine power limit. With the new 2025 model, it does allow us 5% extra horsepower for those tough conditions. Go in here, we can adjust ground speed with grain loss. So it will monitor our grain loss, and if our grain loss metrics get too high, it'll limit our engine horsepower. So we set our grain loss limit. So in here, same kind of concept as our 2024 and older machines. So we just go into our grain loss settings tool. So we'll hit our capture button, and then that will give us our loss meter. We'll set it to the middle, so then we have our high end and our low end. New is unloading on the go mode. So you can actually go in here and you can set that to variable. When it is set to variable, the combine is going to speed up and slow down with your automation. If we set an offset, that's just going to be the percentage of how much it slows down when we are unloading. Or you can leave it on fixed, where you can just set a speed. So for us, I think this is going to be the most common, where we set it at 3 miles an hour. So when we're unloading on the go, the grain cart driver knows exactly how fast to go if he is not using machine sync. Moving into harvest settings, same thing, go into our preferences. We can set up our grain loss limit, the foreign material limit, broken grain, etc. And then all those settings are adjusted by automation to maintain a clean sample. Terrain settings, so this is just going to be where our uphill and downhill adjustments are made, so we can adjust step sizes and our sensitivities for how fast we want that to react. Also, with the automation, it utilizes NDVI mapping. So we always preach the importance of boundaries, and with boundaries, it's going to allow us to pull the NDVI map in for that particular field. Also new with this year, available in all models of X9s and S-Series combines, is turn automation. So this is a new feature. So by uncoupling the speed control, John Deere has now allowed us to utilize turn automation, which is going to make operator fatigue less, minimize pies at the end of the field when we're turning around, making sure that we're coming in straight on every pass. We do have the option to be able to skip pass, so if we have multiple combines in the field, we can take every third pass or every fourth pass for however we are combining the field. Setup is pretty easy. We are just going to go in here and set where we want to start our turn. So if we want to start it ahead or behind, after we set a constant offset, we will be okay. And then we select our turn size. So if we want a large turn, we want a small turn, how we want it to turn, we can go into our equipment turn settings, and this is where we will set up all of our metrics.